Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Misty, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people and my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is the one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where today we're talking NWA Saturday Night on TBS from January 30th, 1988. We are coming off the heels of the first pay-per-view from 1988 in Jim Crockett Promotions with the Bunkhouse Stampede. We recorded that one, and it should have dropped by now, so we hope you enjoyed it. It was a battle to get through, but we'll talk about that shortly. First off, let me ask Doc, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, sir.
Oh,
Look at Jim Ross. Look at Jim Ross's face there. He's smiling, going, "I'm going to stick a knife in both these bastards back and be the only one out here."
Okay, nobody knows what you're talking about. Harper, how are you? I just shared my screen. Harper, how you doing, man?
Great. Fine.
Doing great.
Yeah.
What were you? You were about to ask me something before the red light came on about.
Did you go to Georgia?
I did.
Did y'all win gold?
No. I mean, we already have gold.
Oh, did y'all keep it?
Yep.
Did you do anything underhanded and dirty while you were there?
Oh, God. You know what I did? I ate some Velvetta cheese.
That's gross.
Bruh, we forgot to the hotel room, and I got some beer, right? And it was me and Saeed, our senior official, had a room together. And I was like, dude, you're going to be my drinking buddy tonight because I ain't drinking alone watching fucking TV. So I get a case of beer, and it's me and him. And I open up the fridge, and there's a 6-pack of Stella still in there from the previous guest. I said, fuck yeah, bro. Fucking white people beer.
That's what I'm drinking right now, actually.
You see? And there was a big block of Velvetta cheese that wasn't fucking opened. And I was like, man, we can't eat that shit, bro. Come on. And like as the night went on, you get more drunk. I was like,
well, you know, there's that you start making bargains. You know that
right.
Cheese is probably gonna be all right.
Right. And I said, Saeed, give me one of them plastic fucking forks, bro. So we started eating that fucking shit. I forgot how good Velvetta cheese fucking tasted, bro. I haven't had that shit since I was a fucking kid. That shit was like heaven.
How many beers did you had when you just the 6? You had a case.
No,
you had a case. You had 30 beers.
Right, and it was me and him fucking killing them.
How many were left at the end of the night?
I guess about, I don't know, 8. I mean, more than a 6-pack, but
he's little, so he can't drink as much as you.
Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the full story now because Harper sent me a text that he got drunk and ate Velvetta cheese, and I had no clue what he was talking about. And now I get the story. So the previous guest left a block of cheese in the fridge at the hotel y'all were at, and you drunk bastards just were like, got drunk and decided we're gonna eat some cheese.
All right, Mike. Let's turn to you. What's the worst thing you ever ate drunk in a hotel room on a wrestling trip before?
They did have takeout in the refrigerator. Someone got a steak or something. I was like, Jesus. But
there's a time in your life when you would have eaten that too.
Yeah.
That has to make you wonder what other parts of the room they didn't clean.
That's exactly what I thought, and I started digging through all the drawers, thinking maybe I'll find a fucking $20 bill, fucking folded up somewhere or something. And I fucking looked underneath all the beds, and
you didn't sleep in a crusty spot on the sheets, now, did you?
No, that was the only bad thing. They didn't check the fucking refrigerator, so we had free beer and fucking Velvetta cheese.
All right.
So, Mike, you ever eat any nasty snatch in a hotel room after wrestling?
No comment.
That's a yes.
No comment. No comment. Okay.
The question I have is, when you were doing it, were other people in that room?
Who are you talking to, me or Harper?
Mike.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
So there were other people in the room while you were doing the dirty?
No comment. No comment. No. I'm on.
What?
I am not on a secure channel. These are open airwaves.
That's nice.
It's all right. You're incriminating yourself. That's fine.
No, I'm not incriminating no one. I do recall a one-time episode though where I was in the room, and a buddy of mine was trying to get me to leave, and I'm like, bruh, I paid for half this room. You gonna take that big old sweat hog, and y'all gonna go in the bathroom, cause I ain't leaving this bed. I'm relaxing right now. And
you were a cock block from the word go, weren't you?
Bruh,
that's nice.
I had been out. I was had a little drinking in me, and I just didn't. You know how it is, man. You got the energy to move, and you just like, man, I'm just in this.
Why didn't you just ask,
bro?
Why didn't you just ask him if you could fill one end of her while he did the other?
No, that's okay. I'll pass. Anyway, they went in the bathroom and did their thing, and whatever. This bro was like 300 pounds, man.
That's what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I should take what you can get sometime. I don't know.
I didn't know, bro.
You told me that you never met a wrestler that had any standards. So
lots of them don't. If we're gonna be real,
that's nice.
Harper knows I ain't lying. Some non-standard dudes, bro. They have no standard. It's just like whatever. Bring it on. All right. So as we're getting into this show, and hopefully that didn't bore you too much, special shout out to our largest patron contributor.
Well, hold on. You know there's a lot of podcasts out there that go 15, 20 minutes just boring the shit out of you. If we're going to talk about some shit, you know it's going to keep you going while you're waiting for the show to start. Yeah. I'm just saying.
All right. Amen.
I ain't going to mention any names, but you know who I'm talking about.
Doc, I'm gonna get you a Doc-A-Holic in a second.
Yeah, I got several here. I'm feeling generous.
All right, well, hold on. Shout out, disrespectfully classy Marky Blassie, Kyle Riley, Mike Childry. Thank you for your patronage. Our largest patron contributors we have each and every month, and then a couple of new patrons and people who moved over from Patreon. Ben Martin joined Patreon. He has been sharing a lot of stories about Smoky Mountain Wrestling because he was in the front row at a lot of events. And Doc, you know, we've got an upcoming episode of Smoky Mountain Wrestling where Cornette tried to recruit the gangsters and become their manager. And I don't want to spoil it on this show for everyone because it's going to be about a month and a half before this comes out. But New Jack and the Gangsters refused Corny's services. And
Jesus
Ben was
Christ,
telling me,
why don't you just tell us how the rest of the promotion ends?
No, because even though I gave that away, you and I both know what's said in that promo will not give anything away. And meanwhile, some guy behind Ben in the second row or so yelled at Cornette, "I knew that goddamn Cornette would try to recruit those ends." So stay tuned to our Smoky Mountain episode because we'll be discussing that and a lot of other things, obviously, with Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So thanks, Ben, for the story, and thanks for becoming a patron. Also, patron Brad Dunafin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Apologies if I am, but thanks for becoming a Patreon member and joining the BTT Hall of Fame wing. Tom Schlegel, thanks for joining Patreon as well, and the BTT Hall of Fame wing. And then longtime patron Benjamin Brodel bumped up to the $5 tier to get those Jim Crockett Promotions pay-per-views and the other episodes on the $5 tier, along with Days Street Ball. He joined the $5 tier as well. And Kevin Kimmins, he bumped up his patron as well. He's a long-time patron as well.
God, he's a salty bastard too.
Yeah.
I peeped on his profiles. He's a dirty bastard.
That's it. That's a compliment, Kevin.
That's the guy who's so dirty and surly that he's just been waiting for this podcast his entire life.
Yes. So, but no, that's a compliment. He's like, that's like when you said Daryl Van Horn one time. You were talking about him when he first came into Smoky Mountain. You were like, that's a dirty bastard, and you mean it in the most respectful way possible.
Sure. I don't want to hang out with you personally, but hey, I get where you're coming from.
All right. Troy Dean, shout out. Thank you for bumping up as well. All right, so Doc, you got some Doc-A-Holic Spotlights. What do you got, man?
Well, first of all, I saw my buddy, the other half of my amulet, Fritz, out there talking about the this past weekend. He was talking about the celebrity death that hit him hardest in the last few years, and I gotta say, I'm right there with him on that one. It was Chris Cornell's death. Soundgarden is and was one of my favorite bands. I mean, I'm talking top 3 of all time. So me and Fritz continue to walk hand in hand down the beach together. And I think it's important to talk about my best buddy that way. Even though he likes the Celtics, man. You gotta why do you like the Celtics now? They got all those black guys on the team. You need to go
nice.
back. What?
He's playing heel. He's back to playing heel. I told y'all it wouldn't last long.
I'm playing heel. I love Phil Allen. He's one of the good ones. Tony Matkovich. He was hanging out down at Contrary Brewing Company with his BTT shirt on. You know, that's how we're gonna grow this podcast, guys. Your patronage. Buying shirts if you can, wearing those shirts out, telling people, retweeting. Those are the things that helps this thing grow. So that's a Doc-A-Holic Spotlight. Dude, I feel like I feel sad like I got to throw this guy in. Fucking Gerald Green's dad but apparently he was getting some medical work done, and he threw on his Doc-A-Holic shirt just so that maybe the nurses would give him a prostate exam while he was down there. Is that what you were telling me?
No, that is not what I told you. I said his dad was representing with the Doc-A-Holic shirt, your shirt, and he was impressing the ladies who had appointments as well. This had nothing to do with a doctor wanting to get a reach around or whatever, or, you know, whatever you're saying.
Okay, I got it slightly wrong. Sue me.
Jesus Christ.
And then the other one here, William with a W. But I got to tell you, he did some serious work. He's at Duck Bozard. I don't even know what that means. What is this? At Duck, DUCKBOZARD. I hope he wants that out there.
Keep going. You don't understand Twitter, so just make your point.
I don't, but he took pictures with Corny and JJ and the whole every Midnight Express there's ever been, including Paul Roma. And he was wearing a Book in the Territory shirt while he did it, and apparently he struck up a conversation with Corny about our show. That's the kind of things we need out there. That's the kind of community we're building. It's filthy, it's foul, and it's based on wearing T-shirts. I mean, shit, you buy one of Harper's T-shirts, he's guaranteeing pussy.
See?
So that's all the little army out there that's out there doing great things in our name. You know, we're better than modern medicine. Harper cured Dave DeVries. I've got Gerald Green's dad all healed up. We're better than medicine. We're bigger than Jesus. Let's get into the show.
So when you said, was like Paul Roma there as a horseman with flaring on him, or it was just Paul Roma was just there?
I was saying something wrong, like he was a Midnight Express, so that people would DM Mike and say, Doc doesn't know Paul Roma wasn't in the Midnight Express.
No, it was a convention.
No, it was Condrey and Sweet Stan and Eaton and Corny and William with the W. Like, he was just one of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, and Corny loves our show, and Corny loves us.
Hell yeah, he does. He's no idiot.
All right, real quick before we get into the show, y'all want some more filth?
Filth, of course.
Yeah. So Barry Jackson and Keith Bauer on our Facebook group, they both posted this meme within just like a few hours of each other. But it is a picture of a fat. Hold on. It's a picture.
Wait. I think I saw it. With the fat broad. You think I put the finger in her?
Hold
That's
on.
nice.
I just sent it to Doc. And it says, it's a big old fat broad. And it says, my boyfriend was struggling to find my pussy. I told him to stick a finger in a hole and smell it. When he finds out that smells like shit, go back up one and fuck it.
That's fucking nice.
God.
Disgusting.
What's wrong with these people?
You contribute to it too.
Bro, look at that.
I don't do anything like that.
Look at that woman's face. It's like somebody drew a face on a side of ham.
So dirty, man.
I've always wondered who is like in that meme, who is that fucking broad? Because that's a real person.
Somebody whose picture got taken out of context for real.
Right. And imagine someone's looking at it like, isn't that Sarah from work?
That's why I do not like taking pictures anymore, just for that reason. Oh man, somebody make a meme out of you and it goes around the world, and that's the meme that people see of you. And that could be a really good person, and they just buried that poor woman.
They're not. They're not a good. There's no such thing as a good person.
I know fucking indie guys that I fucking work with that they're now memes.
Well, yeah, indie guys are easy targets, right, Harper?
Yeah.
All right. Are y'all ready to get into the show?
Sure.
All right. So again, this is the January 30th episode. This is the heels of the first pay-per-view of the year. The show opens, it's actually Nikita Koloff in the ring versus Mike Rotunda with Rick Steiner at ringside. They then cut the match and we head to the studio where Tony breaks the news that Larry Zbyszko is the new Western States champion. We talked about that in detail on the pay-per-view that we did on the Patreon tier. They give some results of the Bunkhouse Stampede. They talk about Dusty winning again. Some guy in the crowd has an orgasm when they announced Dusty won. I don't know if y'all caught that. He was like, yeah. Dusty! Like he was drunk and just shooting.
It's Saturday morning, pal.
That don't mean nothing. I'm from New Orleans. I've seen plenty of drunks on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning.
I saw that building.
What building?
Where they drove down the interstate. The old TBS building.
Oh, okay. Techwood?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Techwood? Okay. Yeah. So, you didn't go inside and take pictures, though? So
No. We just drove by. It looks like that's the building they used to do the...
How would he know?
Yeah, right. He never watched this shit. He was born in 85.
Yeah, he's like, that looks just like the ECW arena. Get up.
Luke's knowledge of classic wrestling is ECW. I said it, Luke. Call me and text me if you got a problem. That's his classic wrestling, though.
Hey, I don't come down to his weight set and try to tell him how to lift weights. Maybe he should let us do classic wrestling.
Yeah, leave it to the professionals, asshole. All right. So we keep going. There is a promo from Ricky Santana. They roll out Ricky and they promote this West Coast events that are coming up. And Ricky, he speaks a little Spanish and he gets things going kind of. Yeah, good for him. And then
I'm surprised. I'm surprised like no one fucking screams out "Speak English" or something.
Boy, that's a good point.
In 1980s, fucking 8, bruh.
1988, 1998.
Right. In the South.
We had a black president, so maybe not then, but how about 2018? Yeah.
Where's your green card or something?
Oh, no.
I mean, because they're in the deep South in fucking 1988, dude.
Atlanta was not that cosmopolitan as it is today.
No, it's not. They didn't have the, it wasn't as, whatever liberal or it
was a different. It was. I
believe the term you're looking for is progressive.
Yeah,
yeah. There you go.
It was more fucking hee-haw, heritage, not hate back then.
Upper always possibly.
So if I can expound upon last week's, so not only is Michael Hayes gone, which we'll see implications of that tonight. I do believe the Rock and Roll is gone. We talked about some people that were leaving last week, and I forgot to get to them. Rock and Roll's out now, right, Mike?
I'm letting you handle that. You're the expert.
The rock and roll is out now. They will be back in some form later in the year, but they are out now. Terry Taylor is gone.
Damn, I forgot about Terry Taylor.
Big Bubba's gone. Time to go be the
That's
boss.
the one. Yep.
So there's a lot of influx and movement here of talent. And hey, man, if we know anything, when talent starts moving around, that creates brass rings for people to grab.
Hey,
yeah, because I forgot about Ricky Santana until I saw him.
I forgot about him too.
That's nice.
Hey, but for real, Bubba's the one that always got me, because you think about that. Last year, the UWF is bought, and then, you know, y'all didn't see all this, but he goes to UWF.
They fumble fucked him. They took him out of nowhere, and they did nothing with him. Come on.
The thing was, he had a nice little spot in UWF, becomes champion, all that stuff, and then he ends up back with Corny, not doing anything but being the bodyguard, and then the story Corny tells is he didn't really get fucked, but he got like half of the pay that the rest of the guys got for doing the whole scaffold thing, and you know, he kind of was pissed off at that point, and that's what led to after Starrcade his, you know, getting ready to go up north. But they kind of screwed him, because if you think about it, UWF, he had a nice little spot. So he went from nowhere to being Corny's bodyguard to then getting a nice little spot, working some I guess high profile matches, you can call them that, then like just coming back and being a bodyguard and standing there and not doing nothing. So hey, but it worked out good for him, because he goes up north, and man, he had some hell of matches with Hogan. Probably some of the better matches you'll ever see Hogan in. Yeah, I said it. Doc loves Hogan. It's his thing. Anyway, Doc, any other thoughts? I'm about to play Corny right here real quick.
Play what you got to play.
All right, so this is on the heels of Ricky Santana, who just came out there. Listen to what Corny has to say.
Coming up now, the Midnight Express, Jim Cornette to introduce his team.
That's a real nice suit, Pepino. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the most...
I just wanted to hear him with Ricky Santana, because I think it's great when Corny does that and plays the racist card. Yeah. It's like the one where the one I posted on the YouTube channel, where he says, how do you... I can't even remember. It was something about Manny. Will the defendant please rise? And he gets all racist with Manny in that promo. Yeah, it's really good. But anyway, all right. We keep going. El Negro and Dale LaPerouse lose to the Midnight Express. Corny has a few words on commentary. Doc, you got anything from that, or Harper, anything?
Give me 7 minutes and 10 seconds for a fairly nice move here.
Hold on 1 second.
Look at those two.
Come here,
Harper,
girl.
Harper, which one do you want?
I guess the one on the right.
Oh, I want her too. So which end do you want?
That's nice.
Well, I'm not gonna sword fight you for her.
All right, what's the timestamp, Doc? 7 what?
7:10.
All right, let me go to 7:05. And what am I looking for? Okay,
it's a good move.
Bobby coming off the top. Bobby Eaton.
That's nice.
Shoulder tackle. Yeah, for 88 for sure.
Tell him what it was.
It was basically just a shoulder tackle off the top rope. So Stan shoots the guy off. Guy comes off. Bobby tackles him off the top rope. Flies at him with a shoulder.
That's a high spot though for 1988.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So now let's go to Corny now, because this is after the match. It's Corny, Murdoch, because Murdoch was out there doing the match in the Midnight Express, and let's see what they have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, special news.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Listen. Jim Cornette is going to wrestle. That's right. Jim Cornette is going to be in an 8-man tag team match. You're going to actually get in the ring and try?
That just tickles you, don't it?
It does.
You know something? I said I wasn't going to wrestle anymore. I said I got suckered into that Ronnie Garvin fiasco where he dressed up like Miss Atlanta Lively. I got suckered with people, and I said, Dick Crockett, I ain't wrestling no more. I don't care what kind of contract you come up with. I don't care what you come up with. But this kind of intrigued me, because you see, coming up in Baltimore, it's going to be an 8-man tag team match. It's going to be in a cage. It's going to be me, Dick Murdoch, and the Midnight Express against Dusty Rhodes, Harry Windham, Nikita Koloff, and I told him, I said, I will wrestle if you get you a partner, but you gotta sort of do what I say about the partner, because after all, I'm not a wrestler, so I said, you gotta get you a partner that don't weigh no more than 130 pounds, that don't stand no more than 5 feet 6 inches tall, coming up to about here on me. You gotta get you a partner that ain't no bigger than that, and maybe say can't even bench press, but about maybe 125 pounds. So let me tell you something, Dusty Rhodes. Unless you go out there and get you a midget or a 12-year-old kid, then what you got is nothing. You can't find no partner that fits those specifics, so it's going to be the 3 of you against the 4 of us. And when Captain Redneck and the Midnight Express get for those 3 idiots, then whichever one of them is in the worst kind of shape, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to tag into that match, and when you're laying out on that mat in Dusty Rhodes, I hope it's you. That's what we're shooting for. Then I'm going to hop right down there, and I'm going to put my tennis racket down, and I'm going to have my tights on, and I'm going to get right down on that ring, and I'm going to cover your stinking carcass, and I'm going to beat you for the 1, 2, 3 count. Because, brother, let me tell you something, Dusty Rhodes. There's a lot of people in professional wrestling that are standing in line to wring your neck, but the Midnight Express are at the top of that list. Isn't that right, Captain?
Jim.
That's exactly right.
What date is this?
Come
what
on.
date is this?
February the 12th.
Well, let's get one thing straight. There's a match coming up in February the 6th.
That's right.
Right there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Barbed wire match. Nikita Koloff and Dick Murdoch. And Nikita Koloff is not going to make this match. It's going to be a handicap match, and I hope that they got him a good partner, because they're going to definitely need it. Dusty Rhodes, get one thing straight. I doubt if I'm ever going to be able to collect your mama's bounty, but I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun trying. And it's going to be Baltimore, buddy, in a cage, and a mystery partner. How big?
5'6", 130 pounds.
Maybe it'll be you or Jimmy.
No, you're 5'7", so you don't classify. It might be 4 against 2, but I can't wait, because we're going to have the odds on our side for once. No matter what your crooked brother does to stack the deck against us, David. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, he's going to get it in that match. I know he will. Listen, coming up next, the game.
David Crockett laughing. I'm like, what are you doing, man? He is laughing at corny. Doc, you go first. What do you have?
Man, I like Stanley in the ring trying to calm people down. Just, come on, man. Be quiet. My boss is trying to talk.
You don't get what you want.
Huh?
I said you don't get what you want. Talking about his, Stan, telling him to quiet down.
I really like Murdoch in this role. I think, he turned on Dusty a while back, but this is really good stuff. And it's where they draw on for the Smoky Mountain stuff he does. So Corny is got a confident feeling that he's not going to have to wrestle anybody there, that, they're going to have the advantage. I wonder how that's going to play out.
Guess we'll have to see. Harper, did you want that skull? Did you want that skull hat that Murdoch had on?
Yeah, that was nice.
I know, huh? Who's he gonna wrestle against?
Well, how about we just keep going?
All right.
There we go. They go to the next segment. It's a promo video segment. Kevin Sullivan, Steiner, and Rotunda, Rick Steiner and Rotunda, the Varsity Club. They show the end of the match where Sullivan plants a spike in Nikita's throat and Rotunda wins the NWA World TV title. So just a little FYI here. Doc had talked about this when Nikita won the title. There's Sullivan spiking Nikita in the throat.
Should have been a fireball. That should have been a fireball.
No, I was all right with the spike.
I love the fireball.
Nikita held it for 162 days. He won
and then his wife got sick.
Yep, he won that belt August 17, 1987. So he had it for a while. Anyway, but there you go. The new World TV Champion, NWA World TV Champion, is Mike Rotunda. As a member of the Varsity Club, Sullivan led him to a title. So there you have it. Doc, did you have any thoughts on that match or anything?
Well, it establishes the Varsity Club. They came out, and so what are they about? Well, now we've got to listen to them because they've won a belt. And they won a belt off somebody who's had it, like you just said, for a long time. So all of a sudden, in one video clip, Mike Rotunda is far more interesting than he's been his entire other time on Saturday night so far.
Yeah. Harper, what do you have?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when he first came in talking shit about Dory Funk for the Florida Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch him now, you don't want to fast forward him as much as you did before.
Notice Harper said as much.
That's nice.
Well, I'm gonna play like a portion of this.
This is interesting.
Yeah, well, and this, like, if you're a patron and you're watching on the Patreon video at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT, you got to watch Rotunda, because the whole thing here is not him cutting a promo. It's Sullivan cutting a promo. But Rotunda just looks like a smarmy serial killer with the hair, and I don't know. It's hard to explain. So let me play it, and then y'all tell me what y'all think.
Let me tell you what, the party's over. The good times are over for good, gentlemen. I came on here 2 short weeks ago and said that Mike Rotunda would secure the second most prestigious belt. You can yell from all you want, because he ain't going to be back. You see, the second most prestigious belt in the NWA, the World TV Championship. You see, now this is the most dominant force in professional wrestling. And let me repeat this. This, no matter who or what anybody, and I mean anybody, says, this is the dominating force in professional wrestling. And 2 short weeks, Mike Rotunda did my bidding for me. He went and took the belt from one half of the superpowers, Nikita Koloff, just as I predicted. You see, when the varsity club is together, gentlemen, you can talk about winning, and you can talk, and even my illustrious colleagues talk about gut feelings. Well, when they face anybody, the gut feeling is whether they win or lose. But now when you face the varsity club, what it is not winning and losing. It's your very survival. And I'm talking about not coming out of the ring with just a broken bone or maybe something lodged in your throat. What I'm talking about is maybe not grabbing the last breath of life and maybe not living the way you could have had extra. Okay?
Tell them the surprise, Kevin. Tell them.
First of all, I don't like to have my favorite, Mike Rotunda.
Why is he your favorite?
Because I said so. It's real simple. I won't give you everything you want, but I'll give you everything you need. And today, Michael, my favorite, has decided to make you the Florida Heavyweight Champion.
We're giving you the belt, Steiner, because in the varsity club, we know how to share.
Wow, this is great!
Nobody's
not lose it,
though.
me anything!
You better not lose it, Steiner.
I won't! Nobody's gonna beat me with this thing on! Nobody!
Nobody beats the
Look at that!
club.
This is great! Woo-hoo-hoo!
You see, the destruction of, first of all, Nikita Koloff, as all these people were chanting, Nikita, Nikita. They didn't think it could happen. Now, gentlemen, and I'm talking to Dusty Rhodes, I'm talking to Barry Windham, and I'm talking to Sting, all of them. Nikita went down real easy. When you lay your weary head down tonight after watching that tape and watching Nikita choke, when you hear the winds blow and you hear Varsity Club and you break out in a cold sweat and you look over to the lady that happens to be living with you or carrying your name, you better lean over and kiss her real quick, because it may be the kiss that ends it all.
Varsity club, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, the Western States.
All right, Doc, you said this was interesting, so I think I'll throw it at you first.
So this ends the Florida Heavyweight chance. You just saw the end of the Florida Heavyweight title.
Poof.
That's it. I was wondering what the fuck happened to that title.
Well, they go back down. Wikipedia says Mike Rotunda asked for the title back after Steiner had been champion for several months. NWA strips Steiner. It's abandoned by Jim Crockett.
Yeah, but when does it get abandoned?
I don't know, but Dan Spivey wins it in a tournament down in Florida 4 months later for their deal.
Okay.
So
I honestly don't even remember it.
Sullivan said that Sullivan just walked out and said they were going to kill some people.
Well, Southern wrestling in the 80s.
We're not talking about, beating you in the ring. We're talking about your last breath.
Well, shit happens, right, Harper?
Yes.
Steiner popping when he got the belt, like, oh, gee, Pop, wow.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the satanic college thread, and I never have. I like Varsity Club okay. I just don't understand why he is a guy who is on the campus promoting Satan.
I don't know.
But it's entertaining.
I never got that either. It's like, okay, they're just like college jocks, and you're wearing a warlock cloak,
and waiting for the Night Stalker to fall out of the tree,
right?
At Jerry Jarrett's house.
I don't know, man. I didn't question it. It worked for me. I just was like, all right,
it's
cool.
not bad. It's just, I don't know.
I mean, it's Sullivan, and like the thing is, I don't really know how the college thing ties into it, but I will say this. I guess because they're a club, like, the Letterman, and you think of Varsity Club, like type. I guess that's part of it. You can think about it like that. But man, Mike Rotunda is a million times better right here than he was in anything he did last year. Because I'm telling you, he looks sadistic behind Sullivan. He's got that slick hairdo, the smarmy look like a serial killer, and then Steiner's like a dumb jock. It's like Revenge of the Nerds or some shit with a serial killer and a dumb jock. It really worked. For what it was. Yeah. So that
I'm not saying it makes a lot of sense if you think about it too long, but it's entertaining and I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Harper, what'd you have besides what Doc has already said?
Well, the first thing popped to my mind was what happened to the Florida belt. Because he's a Florida champion, and he doesn't have that. Then I was like, okay, he gave it to Rick. And I'm thinking, okay, you can't do that.
That's the key way that's a way for one of two things to happen. The title to get killed off, or we're going to strip that guy and have a tournament.
Right.
And what happened is it got stripped off of Steiner, and in a different promotion, they just said, we're going to have a tournament, and Dan Spivey beat Dick Slater in the final.
So, Doc, when did they officially strip it from Steiner, according to what
I don't know. Wikipedia is not exactly knocking down dates left and right.
I know. I'm just asking. I mean, I'm not saying...
It said November, so in 9 months, 10 months. But they're going to crown somebody in July out in Florida.
Okay, so... Because I really don't remember him walking around with no Florida title. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, me neither.
That's why I'm like, when did they take that damn thing off of him and say, no, this ain't happening? But you're right, Harper. Rotunda's making up his own rules right here. Here you go, Rick. In the way he looked at him and gave it to him, and then Steiner's like, yeah.
It's like, wow, gee, thanks, Dad.
All right. Okay, well, anything else, Harper?
No.
So the new Western States Heritage Champion, Larry Zbyszko, who won that at the bunkhouse, he defeats Alan Martin right here. He hit him with a pile driver, and then he picked him up and gave him a backbreaker to win. I'm sorry, neckbreaker. What am I saying? Swinging neckbreaker. Doc,
I like when he pile drove him. He goes, "Is this legal?"
I guess. But I was like, dude, just pin him after the pile driver.
I agree with that. That should end it. And that should end things.
Harper, anything from you?
No. Oh, yeah. From the match?
Yeah.
I like it during commentary when Jim Ross said, well, Baby Doll, she's been real close to a lot of wrestlers.
Mm.
Thinking, yeah.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta watch JR on the slick, man, on the commentary. He's basically throwing Corny the That's real classy line, and he says something like that. He's a smart ass if you really think about it. You don't catch it. I mean, I didn't realize it as much, but now I'm starting to catch it. So they go then to another promo. Shivani and JR throw us to Dusty Rhodes receiving the Bunkhouse Stampede Bull of the Woods buckle. We got to play it. Here it is.
Yeah.
We're going to do a very serene election to receive about 1988, but it all turned the wrong way. It's about to be a very shocking situation, and as you said, it all turned out so normally. Let's let the tape do the talking. Ladies and gentlemen,
Three-time winner,
the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, made history in the Nassau Coliseum, and he's here with Jim Crockett, president of Jim Crockett Promotions, for a very special presentation.
Jim, thank you very much. On behalf of Jim Crockett Promotions and the National Wrestling Alliance, I would like to present to Dusty Rhodes a token of winning the third annual Bunkhouse Stampede, becoming the Bull of the Woods for the third consecutive year.
All right, thank you, Mr. Crockett. You know what? I just now flew in from the West Coast, Jim Ross and Bob Cowell. I'm looking clean as I can be. One thing is for sure now is understood. Walking in the Bunkhouse Stampede was like walking in Hell's Kitchen, baby. It was the baddest, the biggest, the roughest bunch ever in the history of wrestling. It was the best. Now Dusty Rhodes in 1988 defends this U.S. title all over this country. All over this country. Anybody that wants to take Dusty Rhodes' spot throughout this country in wrestling, any way, shape, or form, got to understand you're not only dealing with the legend, you're not only dealing with the man that is the #1 box office attraction in this country, but you are dealing with 3 times World Heavyweight Champion and current U.S. Heavyweight Champion. And now then, Ric Flair comes to mind. In 88, a new year for Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Nobody knows you any better than I do, Ric Flair. Nobody knows how to beat you any better. So now that I'm going on record, I'm now telling you, if you want some of the American Dream, I want some of you. 88, World Heavyweight title is going to come to Dusty Rhodes for the 4th time. You can bet all your money on it. Oh, Lord, look at this. Look at this.
We're here in a visitor here.
Baby doll.
All right, Dusty Rhodes, it's your turn to listen to me for once. Listen, you come out here, you say that you're the American Dream, you're such a self-righteous man. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, you're not the cure to everybody's problems, because right here, baby, right here is my present to you. You can do with them whatever you want, you can rip them up, but it's my proof to you that you're not the greatest, because all these ignorant people out here that'll even listen to you for 2 seconds will claim to you that you're not as righteous as what you think you are. Because you see, I've got a lot more where that's coming from. Larry Zbyszko wants a shot at that U.S. title, and with these pictures right here, baby, it's under my terms, and under my terms only are we going to get that U.S. heavyweight title. You better believe it.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Dusty. Boy, Jim, that really
Dusty got the hell out of there whatever was in that envelope he didn't want to discuss. Harper, your thoughts?
He didn't give a fuck about that buckle, huh? He's like, the fuck is this? Right. He just, the fuck is this? And just threw it. He didn't even mention it or anything.
Nope.
He said, fuck that buckle.
As he was standing there with his Yankee satin jacket on and sunglasses.
Yeah,
he's the Bull of the Woods, baby.
Right. He ain't worried about that buckle.
Yeah.
That shit sounds so old. Just like your grandparents talking about Bull of the Woods bullshit.
Buckle, too.
Yeah.
A buckle. All right. Harper, anything else from it?
I think that fucking buckle thing was just too... It's...
hillbilly.
Yes. If this was class or something like that, yeah. But not...
This is 1985, but man, we were in a national competition here. We're hemorrhaging money trying to go national. And you're rolling out David Allen Coe and Bull of the Woods and belt buckles.
You're right.
God damn.
and the spam slam of the week.
We don't get a spam slam this week. Doc, what are your thoughts on this promo, though?
I don't know. I mean, what it's going to be that Dusty's been banging black broads.
What?
Hey, man, it's all pink on the inside. What are we worried about?
Harper's mama don't want to hear that.
Hey, she grew up in a different time.
That's right.
That we can make allowances for his. She gets grandmothered in on her racism.
I got a story for y'all that Doc told me this week. He didn't know I was gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it. So Doc was talking to me about something. I don't know what it was, and then it ended up being something about Latrell. And if he said, "So you think if Latrell marries a sister, that I then get a pass?" And would you say I become part of the race, kinda, sorta? Does that get me in? That's what it was. He goes, does that get me in? I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know, man.
That's how it works, right?
I
what?
I don't know, man. What did you ask me? How did you phrase
down at
it?
the elementary school, the sisters love my kid.
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. So
they are infatuated with my son, and I don't care. I mean, shit. Like I said, it's pink on the inside. I mean, he's
nice.
He's 7.
About a 7-year-old.
No, I don't want to do anything with anybody at all. I'm just saying, you know.
But you did ask me if he marries one of them, do you get
one
it
of
in?
them?
Wow, Jesus Christ!
That's what you. That's what you said. That's
well,
what you said.
I had to kayfabe it a little bit. It was at work, dumbass.
Okay, so he's like, so if little Latrell marries one of the sisters,
yeah.
Does that mean I'm in?
I mean, what am I supposed to say at work? If he marries little Black Sambo's daughter, does that let me in the tribe? I mean, I can't say that at work.
All right. As we're watching the Jive Tones versus Kendall Windham and the Italian Stallion.
Tones.
Yeah, forgot about them.
Yeah, they kind of came in, and then that was that, and nothing happened, and then, yeah. So, real quick, before the match starts, though, JR mentions that Dusty was speechless after getting the envelope. I will say this about this crowd. This crowd is still chanting bald-headed geek at Shasta.
Yes.
This is a whole shit. That was 86.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still chanting it. I mean, a year and a half later.
Well, that's like Corny earlier was talking about Miss Lynn and Lively, and that shit was when we first started this show.
That's a good point. So, but yeah, this is...
Southerners got long memories, pal. They're still fighting the Civil War.
So, the point I was going to make was they do have long memories because they go 10 minutes. And I mean 10 long minutes in this studio with this match. And yet...
This match was my favorite match on the card because I could swipe right.
The Jive Tones win when Stallion gets distracted by Shaska and Conway knees Stallion in the back, and then they get the pin. But I just found it incredible that a year and a half later, they're still chanting bald-headed geek at Shaska, and Shaska's hair still hasn't grown back. He's still bald, so he's living the gimmick and going with it. But anyway, any other thoughts on the match, Doc?
I missed the Jive Tones, pal.
Same thing with you, right, Harper?
Yeah.
All right. They do go to a Jive Tones promo. Did y'all want me to play that one? I
didn't say I missed that much.
I was disappointed with it.
Well,
with their promo.
Maybe they should go back to play and work on their promos.
The only thing I had from it was at the end when Shaska got rolling, he yelled "sucker" like he always would do back in the day. So there you have it. I do need to play the next promo.
Hey, where's Boogie?
I was thinking the same thing. So that's when he shaved his head.
Where's Boogie?
Boogie,
message Harper.
Where's Bugsy?
No, I don't want Bugsy. No.
Come on, bruh.
So what? No. So were the Jive Tones like in the Central States or something?
No, I think Central States is gone by now. So.
Yeah. They're just doing their thing, and they're just not on TV a lot. You know, they're doing
That's my thing is maybe we're losing money because we're carrying too many people on the roster.
Well, you just brought. I mean, that probably had something to do with it. Plus, they just spent a lot of money on a promotion that they really didn't need to spend a lot of money on.
Because right now we're not going to get any sheep herders this week.
Well, Something gets cut out this week, though, and I never asked Tim
Boy, no
about
kidding.
this.
We never figured that out because the Braves I ain't even made it to spring training yet, and this shit was 75 minutes long.
Yeah, no.
It's only an hour and 15 instead of an hour and 30 without commercials, so something's missing. Tim or Richie?
I wasn't gonna ask too many questions because I was like, fuck it. But
boy, that beer's kicking in because he's starting to slur his words over there. I can hear it. Doc will sleep good tonight.
I've been drinking since noon.
You heard? You can tell he's slurring those words, Harper.
Yeah. Oh, drunk.
Tired. Part of it is I'm tired.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost bedtime.
Let's go to the next promo. It's Misty Blue. I got to play it because of what happens later with her and Cornette. Misty Blue looks different here, but we can talk about that after the promo. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world heavyweight champion, the women's heavyweight champion. Yeah, I said heavyweight champion. I'm sorry.
Hi, David. I thought I'd come out here to say hi to you and all my fans. I have successfully been my title across the United States. And I want you to know I've learned some new techniques.
And what do you say new techniques is as far what are you talking about?
Well, hitting the ropes better and some high-flying stuff. But you know who is really a good coach on high-flying stuff is Jim Cornette.
Come on.
He is the greatest. He has taught Bobby Eaton some high-flying stuff I would love to learn. So if you see him, you tell him I want to talk to him. Okay?
Jim Cornette, you actually want to talk to Jim?
He is so great. He is number one. He is.
All right.
My guy.
Okay. Misty, thank you very much. I think you're making a mistake, though. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the ring.
Man,
she
was
porn.
confused. Yes.
Yeah, she was horrible. I'll make out with her.
She finally makes the point that she wants to learn some high-flying moves, but it took her a minute to do so.
Yeah.
She looks like the kind of girl that could light multiple cigarettes in one setting. Like she has the lighter, so she's just going to light everybody's cigarette and then hand them out. You know that girl?
I got you, honey. You need a light?
She sticks them between each finger and just starts lighting them all and then handing them out.
I tell you would drive me about smokers back in the day more than anything. A smoker that never had a fucking lighter. Hey, bro, you got a light? No, motherfucker, I don't smoke. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that they smoked that would drive me. It would just the smoker that I'm not talking about somebody I would just run across and they'd be like, hey, man, you got a light? Like, no, I'm talking about people I knew that smoked and never had a lighter. Like, this is what's wrong with your life. You're never prepared.
No, Harper. How many times did you light a cigarette off the kitchen stove?
Oh, I've never done that.
Really?
Yeah.
He got you.
I would have thought so, man. You've been at the bar, whatever. You lost your lighter. You get home, you're drunk, still drinking. You're like, oh shit,
dude. I've had lighters. Every room had fucking lighters. My car had 10 fucking lighters. They had lighters fucking everywhere. I still find fucking lighters around the fucking house.
All becomes prepared.
Yeah, I still
Just
find
like
fucking Zippos and shit.
Amen. That's a prepared man, Doc.
Yeah.
You had to. You just needed lighters for your bong, right, Mike?
Never.
Never.
If that's what you like, more power to you. But seriously, man, I guess y'all never. I mean, y'all knew a lot of smokers, man. You never was around guys who just never had a lighter.
Everyone I knew. I mean, shit, there are people I knew that would make it out one night and be like, oh, fuck, I lost my lighter. But I never had the chronic asshole that just refused to have fire.
Yeah, now they got the assholes that fucking never had cigarettes on them.
Yes, that's the asshole.
Harper talked about that.
And bum them off of you.
Harper talked about that on a Patreon episode once.
Jason Perez.
Yeah, Harper said the dude. He's like, one dude, man. Harper would purposely buy cheap cigarettes if he knew he was going to be around this guy because the guy wouldn't ask for a cigarette.
Yeah, so I figured if he sees me smoking GPCs, he's going to ask someone else.
Yeah, but part of that is like, I'll give you, because you got to remember back when they were $2 a pack. We talked about that not too long ago. I'll give you $0.25 for a cigarette. Nah, I'll just keep my cigarette. Yeah, man, but that's actually more than it's worth. Yeah, but I might need that cigarette later in this quarter. If I get to 2:30 and I'm drunk and I'm out of cigarettes, all I can do is shove that $0.25 up my ass.
Can't smoke that $0.25, right, Doc?
Right.
I guess you're
I mean,
right,
I only recently really quit smoking in like the last couple of years. Like, so I'll probably die soon.
No, you won't. Let's keep the show moving. We just watched a Ron Garvin and Jimmy Garvin match where they defeated Charles Ryan and Tony Suber. A fresh set of chin nuts is handed out to Charles Ryan as he takes the chin nuts for his team. And then we got a Luger promo.
I got one for you there.
What?
So Ron is Jimmy's stepdad in real life. But he's only 7 years older than Jimmy.
That's crazy.
Wow. So
you want somebody nailing your mom? I mean, first of all, you want Ron Garvin nailing your mom and then have him only be 7 years older than you.
I'm curious how old was fucking Jimmy Garvin's mom?
Well, okay. That's funny you say that because when I was 22, I think, my dad got remarried.
Oh, no.
And my quote-unquote stepmom at the time was like, well, she still is. I think she was only 9 years older than me.
Was she hot?
I'm not.
Just say it.
I'm not saying a word.
Was she hot?
Okay, so he ain't around no more.
Right. Your dad passed on, right?
Yeah, he died from cancer.
R.I.P. Papa Menace. Now, do you stay in contact with her?
I mean, like, she's on my Facebook page, but I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't really talk to her. I mean, she got remarried, and I mean, whatever. I mean,
could you text me? Could you text me her name so I could go find out about her?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
That's nice.
But you're dirty for what you are. You see what type of shit he is? He's a dirty bastard. That's a dirty bastard.
I'm already on fucking Mike Mills' Facebook page going through like the.
You called me dirty and Harper's
like sneaking old or so.
Harper's already fucking Scooby-Doo solution.
Oh, I found her.
So what? Seriously, okay, so let's pull it back to the topic at hand. 9 years older when you're in your 20s is not. I mean, on one level, you're in your 20s and somebody in your 30s. It's a lot different, but you're all still kind of grown ups. So what was that? I mean, was it weird?
No, because she didn't look. She looked a lot more than 9 years older than me.
Well, Tammy and Wanda.
Think. What was the broad's name on Tammy's tips?
Oh God, Margie? Yeah. That's what she looked like?
Not like that, but I'm just saying,
close enough. Fuck
like
that.
the chick in the meme that you sent me earlier? Jeez.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
y'all some dirty bastards. I was just trying to give y'all a point of reference.
That's fucking gross.
Anyway, yeah, man.
That's nice.
So you're like 22 going, hey, well, you wouldn't, but like Harper, I'd be like, so you like The Offspring and, to your stepmom.
You like keeping them separated?
She was she was a strange lady in many ways.
Well, she married into your family, so there you go.
Just, man.
So yeah, Ron is his stepdad, and he's 7 years older. And they play brother. How's this? He's your stepdad. He's 7 years older than you. He's the toughest guy you've ever met, and you play brothers on TV. Wrestling's a weird business.
Yeah.
That it is. All right, let's keep the show moving. Because Jim Cornette is going to come out there, and he's got to address Misty Blue from earlier. Remember, she said she wanted to learn something from Cornette, so here it is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
I know I was out here earlier, okay?
Right.
I know you got something else to do. I see it right here, but I heard what Misty Blue, isn't she a sweet little thing, Misty Blue? I heard what she came out here and she was saying, well, you're messed up too, so you don't count. She was saying some nice things about me, and I appreciate it, and I'd like to talk to her sometime if we ever... Misty, it's nice to meet you.
Oh, Jim, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I've been such a big admirer of yours.
Isn't she sweet? She's so well-mannered. Could I help you with something, Misty?
Yes, I was telling David I wish you'd show me a few of your techniques.
You know, I heard you talking about the stuff that beautiful Bobby does, the high flying off the top rope and everything. Maybe
you could show me?
Yeah, maybe sometime you want to come to one of our private training sessions.
Right now, there's nobody in the ring. Come on.
What? No, not in front of everybody now.
Okay,
no,
isn't it, David?
It looks so forceful. I like. Now, well, wait a minute. Hold on. I got a new jacket on. Let me take my jacket off.
Take it off.
Yeah, I'll just put my racket down and my glasses. David, hold these and don't try anything smart. Now, you sure you want to do this in front of all these people? I'll just show you a few of the things I tell Bobby.
Marty's starting to get fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
Show us some good stuff, Jimmy. Yeah. Let's hear it for Jimmy. Come on, man.
Well, David, there they go to the ring.
Isn't this great, David? This guy knows more aerial stuff.
And Bobby's got very good balance. He doesn't have slick hands on the shoes. And what he does, when we get the guy stretched out here, he's laid out his hands over here, then Bobby climbs up to the top rope, and then as soon as he's on the top rope, he gets a signal from me.
What? Misty Blue just drop-kicked Jim Cornette, and look who's here. It's Dusty Rhodes and Barry Windham.
You're talking about Baltimore on the 14th in the 8-man. This is our partner in Baltimore, baby. In the cage, right there in Baltimore on the 14th. Jim Cornette, Misty Blue. Good one, brother.
Oh, is that a sight for sore eyes or what?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Misty Blue, the drop kick. He just got drop kicked by a woman. What an athlete.
You set that up, David Crockett. You set me up. She tried to kill me. She could have ruptured my spleen, David. She could have ruptured my spleen. She could have popped my kidneys. I could be having peritonitis all over the ring.
We gotta go.
We gotta
go right back.
Oh, man. Harper, what do you have? Corny at his best.
I love it when Corny says, well, you know, we can do one of our private sessions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find like any porn on
her. She did porn.
Yeah.
Harper's looking. He wants to see.
But
there you go.
She had a nice ass.
It was all right.
Me, they're good enough for me.
She looks like a scrawny white bitch to me.
Well,
you think that was the first time she'd ever been cornered by several dudes?
No.
Wow.
Down at the old glory hole.
God, I was thinking, because when
Doc.
you look, they got the fucking...
What?
Down at the old glory hole. What the hell, man? Fuck. Harper, go ahead. He's drunk, man.
Yeah, because I was thinking they got the Midnight there. There's Dusty and there's Barry. I'm thinking, how many of those motherfuckers there knocked that out?
All of them.
Yeah.
You don't have no proof of that. Come on now.
I mean, you got Stan sitting there. I'm thinking Stan probably knocked that shit out.
She's not good enough for him.
For Stan?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? That's not high class enough for him?
Right. He's like, I'll let you guys have that. I'm going to go out later and get some nice looking trim.
Okay, hold on. Even a guy like Stan, Harper, you know that broad was not below his standards.
No.
Wrestlers. You guys are disgusting.
Why?
Shut up. Don't let him tell you nothing. He told me one time, he and I were talking, he was like, man, I'll be thinking about sometime in my 20s and 30s, man. I I jarred my shit into some strange stuff.
That's
So
nice.
don't let him.
Come on.
Don't let him fool you, Harper. He's over there acting like he's only dealt with dimes his whole life. He was in a band. He had some strange stuff in his day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Are they on Spotify?
Shut up now. He likes to get on the wrestlers, but whatever. He's knocking over his drink and everything right now. All right, Doc. Anything else from Corny right there?
No, in all honesty, his Sprite and go back. He just said this on the Experience a while back. His go back to the room and eat a pizza and a couple of bag of chips and 10 Sprites.
Yeah.
That's just starting to catch up to him here.
Yeah.
And he's young to be putting on that kind of weight from where he was just. Think about that Memphis episode we watched a couple weeks ago.
The same thing.
He is big.
Yeah, it's the same thing when he shows up in Mid-South. That same year, it's like you see him and you're like, wow, he's skinny. And then you look at him from there to here and you're like, wow, he picked it up. But just wait. On the Smoky Mountain show, we've kind of seen it because we're going slow. But he's chubby right now, but he's
in 95 he blows up again.
Yeah, he can't even fit his suits anymore.
But he takes great bumps. He has great facials, and it gives Shivani and Crockett, who are the subject of his abuse, their ability to get back at him.
Yeah,
and that's good stuff. So Misty Blue's not great there.
No,
but Tony and Crockett pick up the slack.
Yeah, I'm with you. Harper, anything else from Corny right there and whatnot?
Nah.
All right. So I didn't mention this, but we did skip over a Luger promo, or maybe I did, but it wasn't much of anything.
No.
No.
They then go to an announcement from Shivani and JR, and they go to the Dorton Arena to present Ric Flair with a Wrestler of the Year trophy. Now, this trophy that they present is from NWA Pro Wrestling Digest, is what they say.
I don't remember that magazine.
I don't remember, but I was a PWI nut, so I'm sure that was a thing, and we just weren't familiar with it.
I used to hate those fucking black and white pictures.
In the PWI?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you never heard of color?
Man, it was the
80s, if they
bro.
used all color pictures in 1983 and 1984, that magazine would have cost $18.
Right. We got what we got. Newspaper, print paper, brother. I mean, Jesus. But no, it's from NWA Pro Wrestling Digest. Flair is scoreboarding here because he's got some broads on his arms, and he's telling Luger, who must have been at the ring, that this is what being a horseman is all about. I can get to a point where I can play it, but he's going to cut another promo in a second responding to this thing that I think is so much better. But did you have anything from this, Doc?
I think it's much better for him to be rolling with these broads than that photographer from about a month ago. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
These girls don't have, these girls are 80s. Don't get it twisted, but at least they don't have Adam's apples.
That's nice.
The brunette here has enough Aquanet in her hair to start a charcoal grill. I mean, she's
but that doesn't separate her from the rest of the twats in 1980s.
No. What was the thing with broads back then in the big hair? Why was that a thing?
I don't know. Poison? Yeah, those were fucking those chicks are fucking they're hot.
Yeah, he's talking about the women that are.
So the real question is, how many of those girls did Rick poke?
All three.
Oh yeah. Now the question is, was it at the same time, or were they in gold, silver, bronze?
Well, now that I think about it, he probably was sharing them with Arn and Tully too.
Yeah, man. He's got to tag out sometime.
Yeah. Hot tag.
Why? No.
Yes. Wrestlers, Doc. Wrestlers.
Okay.
So Doc,
they're pulling a train on these bitches.
I'm not saying all that. So, Doc, any other thoughts here on Rick and what he's, he's accepting a trophy, he's giving a speech, he's burying Luger some more.
It's just weird right here on the video where he starts holding the trophy in front of his face, and I'm like, dude, you know where the camera is? What's wrong with you? Look at him. He's hiding behind a trophy.
He really is.
I was thinking if that trophy is still around.
And you know that thing smells like cigar smoke and bad decisions.
Yeah.
You use a Harperism.
It's got a couple of cigarette butts that have been put out on it. All right. So we'll keep moving because
maybe stuck up in a girl or two.
Oh, gee. Oh, that's nice. Sting is in the ring, actually, and Sting defeats Bob Emery. So while all this is going on, Sting is actually watching Rick talk, and Rick doesn't say anything about Sting. So they then go to Sting, and I feel like I got to at least play this. What do you think, Doc?
Well, yeah, you do.
Well, because Sting is in the ring with Shivani now, and
you have to play this part. You do.
Okay, this is gonna piss Doc off because he hates Sting. But what were you about to say, Harper?
This is when Sting gets lost.
Let me play it.
Impressive win for this great athlete.
You know, I've been back there listening, and I've been watching tuxedos and limousines and all that kind of garbage. Yeah, tuxedos and limos just kind of makes me ill. I think I've had just about enough of it. I am a partier. Stinger does love to party, though. But only when it's time to party. As far as I'm concerned, the only time it is for the world champion, Nature Boy, to get up here in the Stinger's face. Jump up here, baby! I think I've had enough now. This is all getting real old, Flair, every week. Come on up.
Well, once again, another challenge made to Ric Flair right here on this gala evening during your celebration to Sting, and I think someone is coming up towards the ring at this time. Well, this is the leader of the Horsemen, James J. Dillon.
Not what I intended. What I expected, though.
Okay, James J. Dillon making his way to the ring. Beautiful women with him, and
I got something to say to you, hot shot. We've tolerated you for a couple of weeks, but tonight you showed absolutely no class whatsoever. Obviously, this is Mr. Flair's night. He's the toast of the town. He's the toast of Raleigh. He's the king here tonight, all day. Press conferences, the keys to the city. They give him an award tonight, and you picked tonight to come in here and shoot your mouth off. Why don't you, Joe, just get lost somewhere and show just a little bit of class? Let me ask you something. Is that some of Flair's talent right down there? Yeah, these are his ladies. They're looking pretty tough. I must admit they're looking tough. And it's kind of hard not to party right about now. Like I said, it's not time to party. So, you lovely little ladies. I'm at a loss for words right now because I want him up there. He's hiding behind his pretty women, and if you want to call yourself a man, behind your bottle of champagne there too, buddy. Uh-oh.
All right, so what you didn't hear right there is, or what you can't see if you're not watching along with us on Patreon.
Talk about being drunk, you hennied up prick.
I'm not drinking Hennessy. What are you talking about? Anyway, Sting throws champagne, or I'm sorry, JJ throws champagne on Sting, and Sting drags JJ into the ring, and then they go to fight, and then the Four Horsemen chase Sting off. Harper, you were laughing with me during this. What do you
Man, that was a Tim Horner moment for him. He got lost, and he didn't have a map. He didn't have a flashlight. He didn't have a compass. He was fucked. And it's almost like JJ threw the shit in his face just to like, okay, fuck this. We're going home.
I didn't think about it like that, but Doc, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought he struggled there, and it's like, I like to party.
He did. He struggled like more than once. Like, okay, he's screwed up. Then it got worse, and you're hiding behind your women, and those women are tough. What the fuck does that mean? They look tough. I don't know what that means. What?
Well, tough as it pertains to women, I've heard dudes use that term, meaning like they're bad, like, damn, they fine. Okay. I've heard dudes use that term, but I don't know if that's what Sting meant right there.
Right.
But I've heard that term used in an endearing way towards women before.
But for all the foibles there, how great was JJ tossing that champagne in his face? Just, man, I've had enough of this shit. Try this.
Yeah, fuck this, yeah.
Fuck
right,
you.
Yeah. Who the hell are you?
That face when he did it, too, that was perfect. That was, man, who the fuck do you think? This is cute. Fuck you.
And then he sold it so well. That was the other side of it.
Sure. Well, he's JJ.
That. Yeah,
and,
he sold that well.
And here's the thing. As bad as Sting was, and he was, let's be clear, he was bad on the mic. He still got the rub from the Horsemen there and comes out looking better than he walked in. And it has nothing to do with him and his performance.
Yeah.
He got the attention of the Horsemen. He's now on their radar.
With that said, and the attention of the Horsemen, let's go now to Ric Flair, who he was all teeth and gums a second ago, accepting that award.
But now, pal.
Let's hear from Rick as he responds to Sting.
Okay. Sting has left the ring here. The Horseman, James J. Dillon, with me right here in the ring. Champ, this has been a great evening, I know, for you.
All right! Now, let me tell you.
JJ.
Explanation for this!
I get it.
Explanation!
No, absolutely not. The man came in, made another challenge. Champ, you can hear the fans. I know this is the last thing in the world you expected.
Sting! Don't hold this back for me! Come here, kid! Hey, kid! Hey, you punk! Come here! This is the world champion talking to you! And I want you, Jimmy Crockett, where are you? Crockett! Let me make it very clear to you! Sting, if you want the shot, if you want the man, you got him! Right here, national TV! As a matter of fact, I'm not going to appear on this program again until I get you, Sting! Remember, buddy, you now have jumped right in to the big time!
Okay, fans.
Make sure you understand that I won't be on your program, Crockett. Do you hear that? I won't be on this program again until Sting is in the ring with a contract signed in his hand.
An ultimatum from the World Heavyweight Champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair, along with the Four Horsemen fans.
Okay, Doc, your thoughts as Flair tells Sting, bring your ass, boy. You want it, you got it. And I ain't wrestling on TV, Crockett, until this match with Sting happens.
All that is great, and what it did is it just sprinkled horseman dust on Sting. And and my problem has always been, and it's what Harper just highlighted so eloquently just a second ago, is he wasn't ready for it.
Maybe he wasn't ready for the promo part of it. I just don't hate Sting as much as y'all do.
That's nice.
Bro, we're talking about it's time to go. The company's in bad shape, and whether or not you're ready for this or not, let's go. And you go out there and crap the bed.
Okay, it was one promo. Calm down.
Did he crap the bed, Harper?
Yes.
All right. So,
and it's the lead into his angle.
We've established that. Now, Harper, what did you think about Rick's response?
Rick's fucking ready to kick his ass.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be?
After it.
I mean, he fucking ruined his whole, wrestler of the year thing, and he's got the fucking trophy, and he's gonna put his hands on fucking JJ.
He's trying to have a special night with his special people, and this asshole comes along and ruins it.
Exactly. See?
He embarrassed Rick in front of his broads.
Yeah.
Kind of douchebag do you think you are, pal?
I got to reconcile this with the ladies who weren't accustomed to this level of violence. now I got to go back and talk to them a little bit before we can have this foursome.
No.
This is nice. All right. So that happens in the arena, at the Dorton Arena. We then go back into the studio where now, so we heard from Rick right there, but now we got to hear from JJ, Tully, and Arn because they got to respond to what happened that night. And here they are.
JJ, thanks to you, Sting got exactly what he wanted. He wants Ric Flair.
He may have got more than he asked for. What Sting did was to degrade himself on national television. He went from being what some considered to be a top contender for the World's Heavyweight Championship to nothing more than a low-life party crasher. You know, David Crockett, when you talk about what it takes to be a world's champion, whether tag team or single, in this case we're talking about Ric Flair's single title, it's not just being a great wrestler. You got to be a world's champion 24 hours a day, just like the Horsemen are 24 hours a day. So you show no class, Sting. No class. J.J. Dillon, Arn Anderson, myself, Ric Flair, we're having a heck of a time. The fourth girl, we're not even going to tell you why she stayed in the limousine. But you, JJ, might have had maybe just a little bit too much to drink, stumbled and spilled something on you, and you blow your cool. Well, that just shows that you have a big weakness because you can't keep control. And you, Sting, you can want a contract with Ric Flair all you want, because, big man, if you can't keep control, you're going down 1, 2, 3. Now let's talk about Lex Luger, Ole Anderson. They want cage matches. You got Barry Windham, Lex Luger, longtime friends, back rejoined. You got the Bull of the Woods. He wants to be on this party too. Well, you know, there is nothing in the world that the Horsemen thrive on than being this ladle that stirs the pot. And if you don't think we're not stirring the pot now, baby, you've never seen it stirred. David Crockett, at a time when some individuals are faced with adversity, Barry Windham, Nikita Koloff coming off big losses. I find the names Ole Anderson, Sting, Barry Windham, and Lex Luger all rallying together for that same common cause that everybody's always rallied together. What can we do to knock the kings off the hill? And I'm talking about the Horsemen. Now, Sting, if you want to insult Ric Flair on his night, that's fine. Because in a tux or out of a tux, he's more man and more wrestler than you'll ever profess to be. Lex Luger, if at any point in time you want to take the rock in his hometown with all the other Andersons. I'm talking about the Omni and come for the World Tag Team Champions. Then, my friend, I grew up around the Omni too, and the Horsemen are the best in what we consider our backyard. Cage Omni, you're going to find something about the Horsemen which was your most horrifying thought. Lock us up, we get worse than ever.
Coming up next.
Arn is a goddamn master. I'm a broken record, but I just had to say that. Doc, what do you have?
He's standing out there in the yellow shirt, but the thing that kicks me is when he takes off his glasses and you can hear him hit the desk. It's like the podium. It's like, man, it's every little piece of what he does is always just the right thing to do. Like, I'm taking off my glasses and you can hear him thump, thud on the table. I got a weird scenario, though, that I've been thinking about, and it was through Luger's promo. It's thinking about Sting. I love Wyndham and the Horsemen, so we're heading that way, obviously. What if Wyndham didn't go to the Horsemen and they got somebody else? I don't know who it is. We could book that right now. But they got Wyndham, Luger, and Sting all banding together to fight them. That's a pretty young and charismatic crew. There might have been something there. Because Wyndham would be the worker. Luger's got the body and Sting could have the charisma. You could get something going on there.
That's true, huh?
Yeah. You could have something there, but they needed a fourth member.
Who would have took Barry's spot?
Right.
Dusty. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
I know who.
Who?
Oh, shit.
The Kansas Jayhawks.
Jesus Christ.
put Dutch in there.
Maybe Terry Taylor?
I think actually he's...
You know who the best person for it would have been? Would have been Rick Steiner.
Nah.
Dude, he's a fucking tough bastard. Just young. He's the new Luger. He's the guy that could fucking beat ass.
Oh man, it's so hard to look back at it and try to fantasy book it because you know what it is, and to know what it maybe could have been with somebody else is, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Because you know it's Barry, so in your mind, like, who else could it be right here?
Members only here on the screen?
Yeah.
Like, it could have been Ole that came back, but he's
too
working.
old.
Yeah, well, not only is he too old, but
he's got a shift down at Best Buy.
Well, he's got his angle. He's got the angle right now with Luger against Tully and Arn, so he's... I don't know, man. That's a hard one. I want to give that some thought. Maybe we do a Patron episode on that on the pre-show, Doc, because that's a good question. If it's not him, who else could you throw in there and it'd be just as good or better?
And then you've got the Wyndham, Sting, Luger, Dusty against them.
There you
with
go.
Nikita popping out. It's like shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to give that one some thought because Lord knows there's a lot of people that it could potentially be, but because you got to look at the UWF roster too. But let's keep going because Ole. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you have from Arn right there, Harper?
Oh fuck. He was great.
He always is. This is Arn. You can't see it if you're just listening to this show, but if you're watching, and especially watching on Patreon when we share the screen. That dude looks into the camera, and there is not a doubt in your mind that he is talking, and what he's saying is everything he says he means, and there's not one bit there's not one bit of anything in that it's a lie. So that's on for you. Ole's out there cutting a promo, and he tells us that he and Luger are going to be in a cage against Arn and Tully, and they're going to beat them. Ole actually does a good job here of describing how tough it is when you fight in a cage and how he can mutilate your body in that cage. Doc, what did you have from it?
You're not playing this?
It is 5 minutes long. You want me to play the whole thing?
Well, I guess not.
Man, look at fucking Ole. Looks like he drives a Ford Bronco with a with a fucking a Reagan Bush 88 bumper sticker on the back of it.
Doc, do you? I don't think we've mentioned this in detail. Do you want to say what you think Harper's superpower is after he said that?
I thought we had, but Harper, if you don't know, Harper has a superpower, and it is being able to take anybody that you see on screen or that we're talking about and describe what year, make, model, and any other accoutrements that come along with their vehicle choice.
The bumper sticker.
Whether it's a Dodge LeBaron or Buick Skylark or whatever it is. AMC Pacer. Harper's got you covered with the right car for the right person for the right time for the right situation.
I mean, Ole looks like he's an old veteran that served in the Navy or something, and he's got the Ford Bronco with the Bush with the Reagan Bush 88 bumper sticker on the back of it.
The funny part about this is Doc was telling me this offline before Harper joined us last time we were recording Smoky Mountain. So that episode hasn't come out yet. I'm thinking about it now. In the minute we started recording the show, Harper drops somebody, I forget who it was. He's like, this guy looks like he drove a 1980 Buick Skylark. Doc had just told me without Harper on the phone, he goes, Harper's got a superpower. He can tell you anybody on this planet what kind of car they drove, the make and model, and any other accessories they had. In Ole's case, it was the Bronco, a Ford, with a Reagan and Bush bumper sticker on it.
I'm telling you, he either drove like a Bronco or the old school, like full-size Chevy Blazer, like the big badass one, or like a Dodge Ram Charger or something like that.
I remember those old Blazers, the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, remember, and I may have said this on the Smoky Mountain, but Arn's ready to tell you what's wrong with your generation.
Yeah.
Yes. You mean Ole?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
did I say Arn? If I said Arn, I meant Ole. But yeah, it's well, here's what's wrong with your generation.
It's like when I was your age, I was in Korea fighting the communists, and
so was Ole? Let me ask you this, Harper: was Ole a John Wayne fan?
Yes.
John Wayne might have been too big of a pussy for Ole.
I don't know, man. Ole's generation loved those.
Whatever happened to Gary Cooper?
The silent type.
The strong silent type.
We got a couple of more matches to close out the show. We got Sting.
Do
and
we?
Barry.
Jesus, this is the longest episode ever.
And it's only Sting and Barry
15.
versus someone and blah 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 blah. Who cares?
Yeah. They defeat Mike Jackson and Gary Royal, and then the Barbarian and Warlord defeat Max MacGyver and Ed Franks. Ivan gets on the microphone during the match, and I will say this. I do miss 85, 86 Ivan because he was cutting promos weekly, and he's on the match or on the commentary during the match.
Where does he go after this?
Home.
Yeah.
That's it? And then he pops up a Smoky Mountain?
ECW.
Not just that. Early ECW. Smoky Mountain, and then that South Atlantic Pro, he was on that, Doc.
Ooh, yeah. Have you ever watched that?
You and I had this discussion. Yeah.
Did we?
I told you that shit used to come on that obscure cable channel in like the early 90s, that Prime channel, whatever Prime Sports was.
I don't know what that was.
You don't remember that, Harper?
No.
Cox Cable had it. That's how it was like when we first got cable in the like early 90s. They had that Prime Sports. I don't remember what like number station it was on, but they had that South Atlantic Pro on for a few weeks. And I was like, you know how it is. We've talked about this. You've gone flipping through the channels and you're like, what the fuck is this? Wrestling?
Yeah.
And it's in that 90s time period where, the territories are dying and dead, and it was on. I was like, what? Ivan Koloff, South Atlantic. And then it was on for like a few weeks, and then I never remember seeing it again.
And
the Prime Network.
He apparently stays in Jim Crockett Promotions until January '89. So we have another year.
In all honesty, his character's been dead since '86.
Right. So another year of poorly used Ivan.
Yeah, sad. What were you saying about Prime, Harper? You Googled it?
Yeah, it was the Prime Sports Network. It launched in 1988, and it closed in 96.
Okay, I thought they might have been bought by somebody, but yeah.
It was replaced by Fox Sports Networks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, but I remember Prime, and that was on there, and I remember seeing Ivan on there and Wahoo on there, and I was like, what is this? But anyway, Barbarian and Warlord, like I said, they defeat Max MacGyver, Ed Franks. There's a closing promo. It is Paul Jones. Not going to play it. Paul Jones talking about the bench press competition and what's going to happen there. That'll be next week. So I guess we'll go to Harper. You have anything on this closing promo? And
I have nothing on nothing.
Gotcha.
It looks like right there on your screen grab right there, it looks like the Barbarian got mad that the Warlord got bigger. So he went and got bigger. Look at that left arm of the Barbarian.
Look at that tricep.
Jesus.
Somebody on Twitter.
He's like, I'm tired of standing next to this bastard that's trying to look bigger than me. I'm going to go get bigger.
Somebody on Twitter or Facebook was talking about Barbarian here and was saying, not Barbarian, Warlord, and was saying that they thought he even got bigger in WWF.
I think
how could his skin hold anything else?
You know, I think he may have gotten bigger.
Dude, he looks like he's stretching the boundaries of his skin.
The big bastard, dude.
There was the time though when Nitro was in their first year of Nitro, when Luger, comes out the first episode, but second year of Nitro, man, I swear Luger got bigger every week.
I was thinking about that, like with Scott Steiner when he was.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, that guy, Big Papa Pup, was ridiculous.
I mean, how much shit was he injecting in him at that point, Harper? Because he just kept on getting bigger.
Yeah, because he was big. Because I remember when he was in fucking, like when we see the WWE shit, he was big, and then when he came back as the that with the fucking Billy Graham look and shit, and like, holy fuck.
Yeah, man.
Either of you two ever taken steroids?
What do you think, Tinkerbell?
Yeah.
Do we look like two dudes who've taken steroids?
I don't know what you were trying to do to keep your dream alive in the mid-90s.
It wasn't steroids.
Yeah, so it was down on your knees. Please make me the brass knuckles champion.
Harper and I are not the shining example of what a steroid user is. Let's just say that.
I was just clumping Harper in so you'd feel comfortable to out yourself for your questionable behavior.
Nice.
Straight edge, brother.
Yeah.
You are, man. You're the fucking most cracker ass black guy I've ever met.
Fuck you.
You don't smoke weed. You don't drink beer.
Drink Hennessy. What are you talking about?
That's true.
And then when I told you every now and then I'll have a Black and Mild, Harper decided to call me a typical.
Whoa.
Whoa, nothing, asshole. That's what you said.
He doesn't remember that. He doesn't remember that.
Yeah. Whoa. Motherfucker, I know what you said.
Hey, asshole. We're a week away from 4 years. You can't remember everything you say here.
Dude, you ain't kidding, man. There are people who go back and listen to like episodes from 2 to 3 years ago, and they'll tweet me. I'm like, we said what? I need a timestamp because I do not remember that. It happens. So, Doc, we need to rate this thing.
4 years, man. That's
we're
pretty
a week
impressive.
Away. We need to rate this thing, Doc. What are you rating it?
Oh man, the first bit was pretty ugh. But I did, man, I'm gonna tell you, I like the Horseman giving Sting the rub, even though we all know my feelings about Sting, but hour and 15 minutes helps. I'm gonna say a B.
Harper, what about you?
Give it a B minus.
All right. I'm going to give it a B plus. Doc, who you giving your Rolex to?
I was a little surprised that you chose not to play the promo, but I'm giving mine to Ole. I thought Ole talking about all the ways a cage can dismantle somebody and how it's a weapon. And I really liked the line he had in there when he's like, when I first showed you, Arn, you were squeamish about it. Because we see Arn as being the alpha, but Ole's reminding you he's the original alpha. So I really like that, and Ole gets the Rolex.
Harper, who you giving your Rolex to?
I want to give it a Cornette.
Me too.
When you saw him fucking take the drop kick from your girl.
Not only that, but
whose girl?
Everyone's
girl.
Hey, my girlfriend's back there. Hey, a lot of guys' girlfriends are back there.
I gotta go. I gotta go Cornette too, because his reaction to David Crockett and them, he was like, "You laughing at me? You goddamn! I could have ruptured my spleen. I could have said a splendicitis," or whatever the hell he said. I thought that was great, so I got to give it to Cornette too. So yeah, good stuff there. So I want to remind everyone, make sure you're using our Amazon referral link. It's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. Great way to support this show. Give that link to the wives, girlfriends, hoes, and side pieces in your life and tell them to use it. Also, don't forget to get the Jim Crockett Promotions pay-per-views and to get many other episodes on our Patreon feed. It's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Lance and I did a Gino Hernandez episode along with our world-class episode recently. Doc and I did a pre-show tonight talking Gino Hernandez and Moolah as far as the dark side of the ring goes. And we got into a couple other things too. So all of that is up on the Patreon link. It's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Harper, we also got Wildkat X rated coming up June 22nd, 2019. Are ringside sold out yet or close?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Ringside? Yeah.
They're sold out or are they not sold out?
I would be very surprised if they're still around.
All right. So June 22nd, 2019, at the Shamrock Bar and Grill, New Orleans, Louisiana, is the unofficial BTT meetup for our 4-year anniversary. Let's call it that. But it's Wildkat Sports. Colt Cabana going to be there. Stevie Rich is going to be there. Tracy Smothers, our friend from Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and what's your friend's name? Shane Douglas will be there as well. So get your tickets. Come out. Come boo Harper and throw something at him and all
That's
that good
nice.
stuff. I know a bunch of the BTT Army is already gone because they've told me. So we
bring your special little friend to the party, and Harper will choke him out.
Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah. So whatever. Go to wildcatsports.com for ticket information, please. But Harper, you looking forward to it?
I was born ready. Let's do this shit.
That's right. So a couple other plugs before we get out of here. Thank you to the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing for all their plugs in their show, which drops every single Monday. They do classic and current stuff. So thank you, ROH's Brian Malonis and Mike Crockett, for doing that show and plugging us. And special shout out to Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn, the northern version of BTT, slightly classier, a little bit more professional, but still fun nonetheless. They come out on Mondays as well, so just search them wherever you get your podcast and subscribe. Doc, I don't have anything else, man. Do you?
Nah, man, I'm fucking tired.
I hear you. You're drunk too. Harper, anything from you before we get out of here?
Let's roll.
All right, Harp, hit that tagline. Get us out of here.
Book it, bitch.
get out of here, I want to say thanks to all of the patrons out there, and thank you for your generous patronage. We appreciate it. It really does help this show. It helps me with the cost it takes to produce this thing, software I have to buy from time to time, and just all the little miscellaneous things that go along with putting out 2 shows a week. It is a very time-consuming process that Doc and Harper and I embark on each and every week, but we do it because we know you love it, and to be honest, we love it too, so thank you for your patronage. So all the patrons out there, thank you. And if you're not one and want to support this show, it's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Before I get out of here, I do need to thank all of the Hall of Fame patrons: Brad Dunafin, Brad, if I'm saying that wrong, my apologies, Tom Schlegel, Coach Joey Case, I say this wrong all the time, Coach Joey Chase, a.k.a. Willie Chase, Steve Mall, LaRon Brown, Kenny Byersdorf, Glenn Abbott at GA WrestleNut, Bobby Murray, Marlon Mealer at Half Pints Point, keep cutting those promos, kid, Josh Warren, Everett Starr, Super Duper Hall of Famer Mike Childry, Super Duper Hall of Famer Kyle Riley, Super Duper Hall of Famer Disrespectfully Classy Marky Blassie. I see you out there, Mark. Thank you for all your patronage. Craig Norman, Johnny on Patreon, the great John Dean at YRC21, Josh Dunn, Ryan in Auburn, good old Justin, Robert Smith, Joseph Ice, Tim Morecci, Adam Price, Brian Evans, Mark Wilson, Armando Martinez, David Jordan, Jesse Jacobs, Josh Fields, Chris Myers, Gerald Green, Mitchell Johnson, Mike Crew, Will Parker, Jeremy Bryant, Classy Alex, Slider91 US, David DeVries, Frog Zeppelin, SV Pageant, Bill Sousa, Big Rich at Spy Boy Sports Cap, R.E. Miller 39, Dustin Roberts, Jay Shiny, Ruben Espinoza, Merciless Jones, Jesse Lucas, Chris Browning, Justin _Andretti, Coleman 822, Marty Howell, T-Hog 94, and God Bold Unreal. Thank you for being Hall of Fame patrons. We appreciate it. And then lastly, check out the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast with friends of mine, Mike Prue and JV. They have a podcast series where they are breaking down the WWE career of Stone Cold Steve Austin month by month on a weekly basis. New episodes are released every single Wednesday morning. They are available on most platforms, including iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, and Google Play. You can find them on Twitter at BottomLineCast. And also, remember, at the $5 tier now, you get the ECW Extreme Livecast with Mike and JV as well. So check that out, and another benefit to becoming a patron at the $5 tier or above. So thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate your patronage. You guys are the best, and we keep rocking and rolling. We are, by the time you hear this, we're at 4 years of BTT. So thank you, no matter how long you've been along for that ride on those 4 years. So that's all I got from Mike, Doc, and Harper. You know what Harper always says when we get out of here? Book it, bitch.